Welcome to this week's video where I am planting spring bulbs. My name is Anne. Thank you for joining me. This is Bonnie. I showed these bulbs 2 weeks ago and I'm only getting to plant them now because it's the first day that's been fine that I've been off. And this is Lily, and I'm going to move these 2 chairs and I'm going to move that stepladder planter. I sit here all the time because it's I get a lot of that feeling, privacy feeling. And the first thing I like to do is take them out of the bag one by one and put them around the garden to see where I want to put them, and if I need to move them around then I can. So I knew that I wanted to have these smaller bulbs in behind this seating area. The tulips there, I want to put them in a pot, and I definitely wanted the snowdrops near where I sit. And oh yes, I wanted to do this thing that I seen Monty Don doing, where he just tosses the daffodils or the bulbs, and wherever they land you plant them. And I was going to do the same with them tulips that I just put behind the chair there, but I ended up just like digging a hole and putting them in. And I put the iris over by the pond. It's kind of a shaded area. The nerine, I was going to put that in a pot as well. So here's what you do. So according to Gardener's World, you plant them pointed side up and 2 to 3 times their depth. And I'll show you here what I meant by Monty Don just throwing the bulbs, and wherever they land, that's where you put them. So I don't actually have a proper bulb trowel, so I was just using a trowel that I already have. I think if I had the proper bulb trowel tool, that I would be able to get to the proper depth on it. Because the soil is quite compact over here, just under the apple tree. So yeah, it's quite compact, and I think that the bulb planter would have got in really well and be able to take out the soil that I needed. So yeah, it's, as you can see, it's quite compact. So I dig a little hole and I pop it in, and I wasn't sure if the pointed side was up, so I took it out again to make sure, and then I just pressed it in and used my shoe to press it down, and then I did the rest of them like that as well. And I also planted some iris over by the little ponds, and I be sure to put the pointed side up on them as well. And it rained, so I had to bring in the nerine and the tulips that I'd left on the table. So but this is the first opportunity that I had to actually plant these bulbs, and because of working all the time and then it been pouring down rain as well, and I ended up planting out the bulbs anyway, even in the rain. So I was quite happy. I actually like a little bit of rain. I don't like when it's too hot. And I love planting bulbs. I love autumn. I always associate autumn and bulb planting with each other. It's like autumn's coming, September, first thing I even think of it in August, about getting bulbs. And quite often I leave it too late because of work or something else. But I'm so glad that I got this in before the end of September. There is a thing where you plant tulips later in the season, like November, I believe. And I'm just going to plant them anyway, because a lot of the packages said to plant between August and December, and there is instructions on the back where you can see how far to plant them apart, and what depth to put them in, and when they will flower. So the instructions are on the back of these packets. I like the snowdrop, I already say. I said it like two videos ago, they're my favourite flower. And I like that they were easy to find where the pointed side was and the root side was. Same with the Narcissus. But these, I wasn't sure. So I just like, I put them, kind of tossed them in anyway I got them, because it's like, I think they'll grow. Well, I hope they will. I'm sure there's some botanist out there that knows which way they go. And I'm sure if I examine them more closely that I would know which way they go. And these bulbs were a little flat, so I kind of had to examine them a bit close to see where the pointed bit was and where the root part was. Because it was like, first glance I was like, oh, that's the root part. But then I was like doubting it. So yeah, there is a little point on them, not much. So I then covered it all up, and yeah, I'll show you the back of the packet here where it says the distance to planting, the height that they're going to get, the depth. Now with these ones, I think it said to plant between from January, but I was like, I have them in the ground already, so I'll just plant them anyway. I'm sure they'll grow. I'm sure it'll be all right. Yeah. And as you can see, the ground is quite wet, which that's grand. Yeah. And there was 35 of them. I didn't realise there's so much crocus in that. I could have actually put them on the lawn as well, just like toss them and plant them wherever they are. But I'm really looking forward to seeing these all blooming. And there's the tulips, and I just covered them up as well. The pointed side is quite obvious on them too. And I also wanted to show you the hooker that I moved a few weeks ago. And there's growth on it, so I'm delighted with that. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.